Around the block and around the world, this is where we discuss, debate, and deliberate all things diabetes. Representing type 2, that would be me, the lovely and talented Dobie Maxwell. No, I'm just regular me. Representing type 1, you know who she is, vivacious, she's effervescent, she's always in the know, Ms. Sammy Parker. Sammy, this episode is brought to you by who?
The Diabetes App.
And what do they do by chance?
It's a free social media app where you can find Dobie and I on the Diabetes App community resources for those living with type 1 and type 2 diabetes.
Correctamundo.
Thank you.
Sammy, all of our episodes are fun, fantastic. Today, we have an extra special, upscale, fantastic human being who is our special guest. I've dealt with her personally. She did our episode before we even were a podcast officially. So now we're going to unleash her on our listeners in a very positive way.
She's a part of the La Familia. We got Miss Donna here. Donna, hello.
Hi.
Donna, you're one of the few Americans. I mean, our company's based in Canada. So funny. You, me, and Sammy are the Americans.
Oh, yeah. And Jack.
That's right.
Now, you're in New Hampshire?
I'm in New Hampshire, yes.
So let's hear your diagnosis story. Is so fascinating. Let's just get you started on that if you don't mind. You're a type 2 too in the house.
Type 2 in the house, all right? So it goes way back from the beginning, but here's gist of it. About a year prior to diagnosis. So I was diagnosed April 4th, 2018. In 2017, I started noticing symptoms. I noticed my left eye started getting blurry, and then I lost sight. And then I had some issues with numbing and tingling in the feet. I had excessive thirst. It was ridiculous, the thirst, and incontinence. Now, around this time frame, I was moving. I was moving from a 4-bedroom colonial into a condo. We were downsizing. Mm-hmm. And it had been a good 10 weeks of stress and 10 weeks of moving. And it was extremely hot that summer. So I attributed all of these symptoms to, moving, hot, thirsty. It's because I'm moving. Oh, I'm on my feet all day. Yeah, I'm a little overweight here, but I'm on my feet. Maybe I need better shoes. Oh, my eyesight's going well. Then I went to the doctor. Oh, everything's fine. Or you just need a new prescription. Oh, okay. Got new glasses. Incontinence. Well, I'm like, I am postmenopausal and maybe it's time for Depends. And, it's one of those things. And that was kind of like in my thought process. Deep down, I was in denial. Deep down, I knew I was in trouble. And I call it that I was on the sea of denial, the river denial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, after about a month or two, everything disappeared, all the symptoms. So I was like, I was right. See, I was right. I'm all right. It's okay. So that was that. Went along my day. We moved. We're in the condo. We're all calm. Everything's fine. And on the daily life. And then Easter Sunday, and I'll get back to that, but I binged quite well that day. I have an eating disorder since around the age of 3, to the point where my husband, who never, ever said anything about my eating disorder, never complained, never criticized. Even he that day was like, you ate that, huh? You ate all those cookies, huh? And that was it. So I didn't feel well. Next morning, I woke up and felt sick. Noticed a little bit of blood in the urine. And I was like, geez, I wonder if I'm getting in like a urinary tract infection or something. I just didn't feel well, but had to go to work. So I went to work, and around lunchtime, I was a paraprofessional. So I was with a disabled child who needed help in the lunchroom. But all of a sudden I felt really sick and I had to excuse myself, and I needed to have a paraprofessional go and help her so I could run to the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Run to the bathroom, come to find out, I'm bleeding from the rectum.
Okay. I got to stop you there for a second. That sentence alone will get everybody's attention. Blood in the urine, that's okay, maybe a little concern. Bleeding from the rectum, call the doctor.
Yeah.
Now the red flags are up.
Now my red flags are up, and yes, I was frightened to say the least.
I'm frightened hearing it.
I was like, uh-oh. But here's the thing. I thought to myself, okay, I got frightened, then I was like, okay, maybe what's happening is I had a urinary tract infection. It spread to the bladder, and now it's just spreading. I'm going to be okay, but I better go to the doctor. So I left, and I went to the nearest convenient MD because I didn't have a regular doctor at the time. She said, okay. She thought the same thing. So she did blood work and she says, let's test your urine to see if there was, in fact, an infection. Check for bacteria. And I started going, here we go. So she comes back after a few minutes and has this look on her face. And she says, you're dumping sugar into your urine right now. And I went, I said another word, but I went, here we go.
Shiz.
Frick.
I knew, shiz, prick, yeah.
That's my go-to if you couldn't
Now,
tell.
Sammy, we tone it down for the listeners, but everybody says it.
Yeah. Shiz. You're dumping sugar in your urine. Let's test your blood sugar. So she tested my blood sugar and it was 510.
The plot thickens, as does your blood.
As does my blood. And she says, you are in the midst, you're getting ready to have a diabetic coma now. Call your husband. He's got to take you to the ER.
So wait. So you're facing bleeding from the rectum and diabetic coma in the same day.
Correct.
This is not a happy day, Donna. Continue, please.
I did not have a happy day.
There's not a Hallmark card for it. Hey, there's blood in your stool. Happy day.
So call husband, come get me. I'm in trouble. Went to the ER. So I just have to say this. While I'm waiting for my husband to come and get me, and this is where we start having the issues with people not taking diabetes seriously, doctors, and some that do and some that don't. This woman comes in. I have diabetes too. All you really have to do is take a pill. Don't eat corn. Don't eat peas. You'll be fine. She's saying this as I'm bleeding profusely. And I'm like, you don't even know what you're talking about right now. And I just couldn't even listen to it. I'm like, really?
Oh my God, those people are so annoying. I'm like, you're annoying.
And I'm like bawling and I'm thinking to myself, if you don't get out of my face right now, I don't know.
I'm going to hit you.
So that was like the beginning of that stuff. So my husband brought to me to the ER and immediately they start hooking me up to everything. He's sitting there watching like my wife's going to die at any minute. I'm watching her die right now. Plugging me in and he says, okay, this is the test. So they start pumping my body with fluid, water, basically, and electrolytes and stuff like that. And they said, if your blood sugar goes down, that means your pancreas is still producing insulin and it's still in working order.
Yeah.
If your blood sugar stays the same or goes up, your pancreas has died and you're type 1. So it did go down. So it went down immediately from 510 to in the 200s. So I was lucky. So he says, okay, pancreas is still producing insulin. Kidneys are good. Hearts are good. You're good. Everything's fine. Okay, here's metformin. Go see your doctor. Good luck.
Yep, blew you off.
The next day I went to see my doctor and he's looking it over and he goes, yep, you have type 2 diabetes. And again, I went, no shiz. Really? Okay. He checked my feet. You know, I did end up having diabetic neuropathy in my feet. I did have some, but he says, you know, it's not severe. I think we caught it. So put me on metformin, made an appointment with a nutritionist. And I'm still very upset, of course. But he said the words that I didn't think I'd ever hear. And he said, Donna, the goal is to get you off the meds, get your weight off, and we're going to reverse this. We're going to do this.
That's definitely what you want to hear.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Right? Most doctors will not say that. I thought I was going to be on 7 different medications for the rest of my life. And this doctor is telling me, no, there's hope. We're going to get you off the meds. We're going to get this weight off and you're going to reverse it.
Now to get the listeners in on the party here, how much weight did you have to lose at that time?
So my highest recorded weight was back in 2000, and that's 339 pounds. At the time of diagnosis, I had gotten my weight back down to 254. I am now at 147. So my total weight loss was 192.
Wow.
You're a miracle child. And how tall are you?
I'm 5'9".
That's crazy.
So 154 to 147. Yeah. And that happened in 11 months.
The Diabetes App is an online community platform that was created to help people living with diabetes find support and information in one spot.
And on the Diabetes App, you can join groups and connect with other people all over the world who are also living with diabetes. I mean, for me, whenever I have a bad day, I find myself scrolling through the mental wellness group. just to reassure myself that I'm not alone.
The Diabetes app has a resource section where you can find articles, recipes, tips, and tricks for managing your diabetes. Download the Diabetes app today and connect with us right on the app.
So after losing like that much weight total, how did you feel? And also, like, what was your motivation during it? Obviously, I know it was because he told you, but like, what kept you going on the days that you were like, I can't do it anymore?
I never had that. So real fast, I'll just tell you. So the nutritionist that I was with was talking to me all about carbs. Again, I thought diabetes was all about the sugar intake, and it is not. It is about carbs. So in order for me to figure out what was affecting my body this way, I had to test regularly 2 hours after meals. And I found out that grain-based carbohydrates were toxic to my body. So I removed those totally out of my body. I have not had any grain for over 4 years.
Wow.
And processed sugar, gone.
Okay.
So that was helped me to get the weight off. It literally melted.
Yeah.
The day that I came home from my doctor, when he said, we're going to reverse this, I went home and I looked at my kids, and my daughter was 18. So my son was 16, and I'm looking at him and I'm like, I'm still young. I got 2 kids. I just don't want to die.
Yeah.
I have type 1 and type 2 in my family. My maternal grandfather lost his legs. My maternal aunt died at 9 from osteomyelitis, so blood infection, because that was in the 20s. They didn't get insulin at that point. So fear. I don't want to die. I don't want to lose my legs. I already have an issue in my eye. I don't want to go blind. I kept thinking of my grandfather. I'm looking at my kids, and that's what motivated me. So it was fear and the will to not die for my children.
Yeah.
So when I realized the grain was the issue, I did anything I could to get rid of this. I said, I don't want this in my life. This is unwelcome.
Well, it's a negative. Like, it's just something that you have to think about. And it's like something that if you can change it, you're going to do everything in your willpower to change it.
And that's what I did. Yeah. So got rid of the grain, got rid of the processed sugar. And I kid you not, it was almost like magic. The weight melted away. And I realized it was just because it was it's a toxic chemical. My body treated it as like almost poison.
Yeah.
And in 11 months, gone. And so my A1C at the time of diagnosis was 12.3. I meant to tell you that.
That's the highest I've ever heard, Donna. No offense. I think you got the record.
Yeah. In 11 months, it was 5.4. So,
wow.
Atta girl. Hey.
So, I'm sure people do realize this, but just if you want to just say around 5.7 and lower is considered non-diabetic. Around 5.8, 6.0 is pre-diabetic. And then once you're getting into the 6s and up, that's your type 2. So that's just for point of reference. That's where I got to after 11 months, was taken off the metformin totally. I'm now steady 5.0 A1C. Because I lost all that weight and everything, I also removed all my mental health medicines that I was on. Because I had major depression, generalized anxiety disorder, and an eating disorder, compulsive emotional overeating disorder, since around the age of 3 years old. So all this in 11 months gone.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you consider yourself a former diabetic, a recovering diabetic? How does Donna view herself in her own mind?
Yeah, that's a good question, Dobie. I like that.
That's why I'm here, Sammy, to carry you. No kidding.
Carry the team.
We joke around, Donna.
I always said I was in remission, but I changed that. I have reversed my diabetes.
Now, as a type 2, and again, I mean no disrespect to type 1s, but people will say, are you a diabetic? I said, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes in 2011. And in my mind, I never wanted to go there. Oh, poor me, I'm a diabetic for the rest of my life. Type 1s have a different struggle, a different climb, but I think we as type 2s have a lot to say about a reversal. Don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Because, and for me, I am holistic, and I find a lot of times I really think about the energetic part of everything. And energetically, words, thoughts have energy.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you say, it has energy. Better energy to say it's reversed than it is to say you're in remission. And that's really how I feel. Why? Because I'll never go back. There is no way I will ever go back. So I'm very strict. I'm a lot stricter than most.
But I think it's good. I don't think being strict, there's anything wrong. And I think like a lot of people think, oh, how are you so black and white with it? Like, to me, at least, about stuff. And I'm like, because it's not something, like, I firmly believe diabetes is not something you can just necessarily be a gray area. Like, there's gray areas at times of giving yourself grace, but there's a difference in giving yourself grace versus saying, I don't want to do it today. And I don't think that's an
No.
option.
For me, it's called a non-negotiable. Non-negotiable, I will work out, I will walk 3 miles a day, 7 days a week. That's a non-negotiable, unless I'm sick. If I'm sick, okay. If you have a fever,
Yes.
okay, then you rest. But I don't believe in rest days. It's a non-negotiable for me.
Now, for listeners that have just been diagnosed, how do you feel about that all this time later of doing that 3 miles a day? Because you've been doing it longer than me, and I'm hooked. I'm never going back either.
No, I'm never going back. I do not look at it as a chore because I mix it up. I love to hike, so I love nature. So I make sure that I take it all in. If I walk outside, I never wear headphones because I want to hear everything. I want to take in the birds, take in the smells, take in the sounds. I want everything. Literally, it makes a difference.
Oncoming vehicles, you want to hear them too.
I want to hear oncoming vehicle. I don't want to get hit.
Right.
It's not a chore. It's a joy. So I will, like I said, I will never stop. Not till if I'm 99 years old with a walker, I will still walk.
Yeah.
Sammy, do you find exercise to be a joy as well?
I literally love exercise. I can do it all day. That's probably dysfunctional, but
No,
I
it's
could.
not. I said the same thing coming at it from for new listeners' point of view that have just been diagnosed. It's frightening, as Donna said, fear, scary. Oh my gosh. I mean, my life was lazy. I talk about it all the time. The heaviest thing I lifted was a 42-ounce Pepsi or a microphone on stage, and I would drive it. So now I find the same way. So here you have 3 people from different walks of life that are addicted in a positive way to exercise. So if you're listening and there's something, oh my, I can never get in that mindset, give yourself a chance. Your body is a miraculous machine. And when you start feeling the benefits, I don't know if it's the endorphins in your head, whatever it is, I'm hooked for life too. I'm just glad to hear us all say that to encourage listeners that are intimidated and overwhelmed, because I know they're out there because I was one.
So remember too, not only does walking or whatever, not only is it great for your body, it's easy on your body.
Totally. Your mental state is on another level.
The serotonin levels, you feel so much better emotionally, mentally.
Now, Donna, is your depression back? Mine is gone.
Oh, it's gone. Now, do I have anxiety moments? Absolutely. Of course. But walking clears it out. Bam.
You know what I get? PTSD. When I become insulin resistant, I had PTSD before I went plant-based, when I couldn't lose any weight or I couldn't get my blood sugars down. I get PTSD. I'm like, oh my God, my blood sugars have been high. Oh my God, it's happening again. And I can't help it. But when I walk and I leave, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Clears my mind.
It's a miraculous thing what walking can do. And what I tell people is, I don't want people to think either, oh, you're telling me right now I start walking 3 to 4 miles a day every single day. No, I'm not. That's just me.
Yeah.
What I'm asking is 5 minutes a day.
Yes, exactly.
Start at 5 minutes. Build up. It's not a marathon. Walk up and down your stairs.
Parking lot at the grocery store, or, just park and walk across the parking lot, even eat little stuff like that. And you don't think about it. Then you come out with bags full of groceries. Oh my God, I got to walk. But it gets you in the habit of doing that. Pretty soon you find yourself doing more and more and more on purpose. When it rains, I don't know how it is for you guys. I take laps in the big grocery stores. So when I can't walk outside, I take it, if I don't have a gym membership and I live out in the sticks, but I go in and people are, it's the walker guy. Oh, it's the diabetes guys here. And they get to know you, wave, hey, how you doing? How many laps? How many steps you get in today? If you tell people you're doing it, you put the vibe out in the universe and the people will come back at you in a favorable and a positive way.
Yeah, I actually have done that during COVID when if it was raining outside and I couldn't go on a walk, I would go up and down the stairs.
Very good.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And I do walking DVDs.
Yeah.
For my indoor walks. So
yeah,
there's all different types.
I saw you do the DVD one time.
That's right.
I loved it. Well, Donna, it has been such a pleasure having you on and hearing your story. And you're a very inspiring lady. And I know that we are all so grateful to have you a part of our lives and to come on the podcast and share your story with us.
I can't speak for Elizabeth, our queen of the Pod Squad, and you, Sammy. We got to have Donna on more often as a regular guest because we haven't even scratched the surface of her story. And I just want to say, I worked with her with Reiki healing, and that helped to change my life too. We didn't get into that today in this episode, but I hope we will in the future. Just wanted to say that. I'm sorry. Please continue, Sammy.
Thank you. I'd love to talk about Reiki. Yes.
I wanted to get it in, Donna, because it was so beneficial to me, and I can just tell that you're great at what you do. So I'm sorry, Sam. Go ahead. Question of the pod.
And that's who should we meet with next for our podcast? And that's just so our listeners can answer that question. And you can find Donna. Donna, where can you find you on Instagram?
Instagram is Donna E. Cross.
Donna E. Cross. Get your Reiki healing now, everybody. And you can find her there, and you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at JustMyTypePod _ Facebook at JustMyTypePod, and our hashtag JustMyTypePod. But again, question of the pod, who should we have on the pod next? So we want to hear everybody's thoughts.
I don't know who's next, but Donna absolutely will be back. So thank you for listening. Thanks to Queen Elizabeth, our Pod Squad guru who keeps everything easy for us to deal with. Thanks for Zach, our intern, who does it as well. Thanks to you for listening. We're well on our way to 1 million listeners. And Sammy, we're going to put the sugar-free cherry on the Healthy Sunday one last time.
C'est la vie, baby.
This is the Just My Type podcast.